Good evening, Ogdensburg. My name is Joe Wenzel. I'm from Essex County. I don't like mics, I don't like podiums, and I like to speak loud. So you're going to have to forgive me. This is sort of an introduction for me. I've been traveling all throughout the 11th Congressional District. As you may know, the 11th Congressional District stretches all the way from the Passaic River and Nutley in Essex County through various areas of Passaic County, Woodland Park, Wayne, and then we go into Morris County, and then we have this little sliver up here in Sussex County, including Ogdensburg. So I want to take this opportunity to introduce myself to all of you who haven't met yet. I'm a married father of two. My daughters are 13 and 10, and they attend the public schools in West Orange. My wife, Kelly, works for New Jersey Audubon as a program coordinator throughout the state. I'm an attorney. Okay, now you can all throw your required rotten tomatoes and eggs now. Yes, I'm an attorney. I have a private practice in Clifton, New Jersey, where I mostly have a general practice doing various sorts of work. I've been asked, why would you run in the 11th Congressional District against Congressman Freeland-Heisen? There are towns named after Congressman Freeland-Heisen, not him, but members of his family. And there's even a road in Newark that's named after the Freeland-Heisens. It floods all the time, but I don't think that's any reflection of the Freeland-Heisen name. But nevertheless, the point of this is that, and I think John said before, and once again I'd be remiss if I didn't thank John and the rest of the members of the Ogdensburg Historical Society for having this event organized, having so many people out here tonight. I appreciate you all coming. I know it's it's a time out of your day with your family, so I appreciate that. And thanks again, John, and your group for holding this. But what's important here is that we have different voices heard. Congressman Freeland-Heisen has been in office for over 20 years. He has risen through the ranks, as Assemblywoman Priebus said, and I want to thank Assemblywoman for her time here. We were just sharing some, what are those, Pop-Tarts or something like that? We're sharing some candy and some good time. And that, and John said it before about civility. And in my mind, politics should be about civility. I think I have a new friend in the Assemblywoman, so we'll be going down to the bar down the street. What's that? Atlantic Manor. That little place looks great. But we need to have different viewpoints here in the 11th Congressional District be heard. Now, my concern has been, I remember Congressman Freeland-Heisen when I was in college, and he was in Assembly, and he really represented what I believe to be a moderate Republicanism. 20 years later, I don't think Congressman Freeland-Heisen is the same person. I think that what we have seen over the past 20 years is Congressman Freeland-Heisen rise to the ranks, and when the time has come to speak up for the district, for the true district values, Congressman Freeland-Heisen's been silent. In fact, I read in the Star-Ledger today when asked about a certain presidential candidate, his response was no comment. Well, look, you elect these people to office to have their voice heard, have your voice heard. Even if he said, I support the man, at least he said something. And so why am I running? I said back in 2012, after the Newtown massacre, I said at least we're going to have a conversation. Now I know this is Sussex County and I understand that, but I believe that there should be some reasonable gun safety laws. I think we should have universal background checks. We have to have this conversation, at least have a conversation. But instead, we don't have that. And I think that's unfortunate. I think that somebody who's been in Congress for 20 years, who's risen through the ranks of seniority and these chairmanships, as Assemblywoman Priebus said, should be a leader in doing that. And that's why I think that Congressman Freeland-Heisen has not stood up to that challenge of being a leader for those reasons. I know Congressman Freeland-Heisen supports the Picketting Arsenal. I know Congressman Freeland-Heisen supports the environment. I know Congressman Freeland-Heisen has moderate views. He's not the presidential candidate, but we need to have somebody in Congress who's willing to stand up and speak on behalf of the people of this district, and that's why I've chosen to run. I know that we have many challenges ahead of us, many, many challenges, and it's important that we face them together. Whether you're from Essex County, Sussex County, Passaic County, that we all face them together and not divided but together as one. Thank you for your time, John. Thank you for your opportunity, and thank the Assemblyman. Transportation. You know, New Jersey has been known as the car state for a very, very long time. And our politicians, whether they be down in Washington or Trenton, have turned their back, quite frankly, on taking care of infrastructure throughout the state, including areas up here in Sussex County. And I know even in Ogdensburg, recently they had an issue about a street that you guys were looking to redo and how they were going to pay for it. I think all small towns go through that. And quite frankly, the federal government should be coming in to assist the towns that are trying to do that, that are trying to revitalize their main street. I drove through downtown Ogdensburg. I see what's trying to be done here, the revitalization that they're trying to do, that all little towns like Ogdensburg are trying to do. So really the federal government, in my mind, should be supporting that. But here's the question. Congressman Freelandheisen has been in office for 22 years. And now he's working on getting transportation secured from Sussex County down throughout the state. That's what I hear from Assemblywoman Previous. Where has he been for 20 years? I mean, we had the opportunity to do the ARC Tunnel. Now we're doing the Gateway Tunnel. There's all sorts of rail projects, high-speed rail, that really needs to be supported and initiated by Congress. But they're not doing that. They're simply not doing that. In fact, Congress for the past 6 or odd years has been basically saying no to everything and shutting down the government. So you tell me, do you lead from behind or do you lead in front? And I don't see Congressman Freelandheisen leading from the front. In fact, even the statement today is after Speaker Ryan made his statement. So to me, that's not leadership, that's leading from behind, not leading in front. So once again, I believe that it's time for Congress to help out local communities like here in Ogdensburg, help them with their infrastructure plans, help them revitalize, get them back to a place where they have a strong, stable tax base. They used to say the best way to get people to work together is lock them in a room together until they come out. You know, to me, the problem is simply this. The parties have kind of gone into their own little huts, and they've gone over, the Democrats are over in their little area, and the Republicans are over in their little area, and never the twain shall meet. You know, I've never met the Assemblywoman before tonight, but so far we're having a pretty good time, and that has nothing to do with the fact that the Assemblywoman is a Republican and I'm a Democrat. That has simply to do with the fact that we're both interested in politics, interested in being public servants, and I'm going to guess that the Assemblywoman wants to get as much done for her district as I would. So at the end of the day, the problem with Congress is that they just don't talk to each other as human beings. I don't see her, the Assemblywoman, she earned it. I don't see the Assemblywoman as a Republican. I don't see her as being someone I couldn't possibly ever speak to. But this is what Congress has become. It's become two separate little islands. And I understand that Congressman Freelandheisen has been working across the aisle for all these projects and getting the VA clinic and so on and so forth. I don't think the problem for Congressman Freelandheisen is Democrats. I think the problem for Congressman Freelandheisen is those Republicans who are well off the reservation and probably are the ones that would give him the greatest degree of difficulty about spending money in the district for good projects, for good things like the VA clinic. That's where the problem comes in. And granted, there's problems on my side as well with the people off on the far left. But at the end of the day, it really has to be about communication. You know, when you talk about what you need to do in Congress, to me, it comes down to just simply this. You have to be able to speak with each other, talk with each other, come up with mutual goals, and work as one. Sometimes you're not going to agree, but that's okay. But at least let's have the discussion. Thank you.